everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know, we're all about going deep on a subject, giving you the insights and the knowledge to really, level up your understanding. And today is no different. We're diving headfirst into a book I think is super relevant for, pretty much everyone living in our crazy modern world. Recupera tu mente, reconquista tu vida, which translates to, recover your mind, reclaim your life. And this is written by Marian Rojas Estapé, who, just so you know, is a psychiatrist.
Yeah, and a really well-respected one at that. She's got this amazing way of explaining complex psychological concepts, making them relatable and easy to grasp, which, let's be honest, is not always the case with, mental health stuff.
Absolutely. It's like she gets what it's like to be, bombarded with all the distractions and pressures of modern life. And the book is, her attempt to give us some tools to deal with all of that.
Right. And it's not just some, airy-fairy self-help stuff either. It's rooted in solid science and, her years of experience working with patients. It came out fairly recently, actually, April 3rd, 2024, if you want to look it up.
Oh, yeah, I should mention that. Part of the Espasa Crecimiento personal collection, too, for those keeping track. But, enough about the technical details. Let's talk about what this book is really about. And to me, it all boils down to this central idea. We're losing our ability to focus. And it's not our fault, really. Think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Think about your typical day, right? You wake up, you're immediately hit with notifications on your phone, emails piling up, news alerts buzzing. It's like this constant barrage of information and stimulation.
It's insane. And it's not just the external stuff either. Our own minds are racing a mile a minute, jumping from thought to thought. And the book argues that all this is having a profound impact on our well-being, on our ability to be present, to connect with others, to just, be happy.
Right. It's like we're constantly plugged in, but we're losing touch with ourselves. And it's all tied to this one little chemical in our brains, dopamine, the pleasure hormone.
Oh, yeah, dopamine. I've heard of that. Tell me more. How does that fit into all of this?
Well, dopamine is released when we do things that feel good. Right? Like eating a delicious meal, achieving a goal, even just scrolling through social media and getting a bunch of likes. And the problem is, our modern world is designed to give us these little dopamine hits constantly.
Okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this. So every time we check our phones or get a notification, our brains get a little reward.
Exactly. And the more we get those rewards, the more we crave them. It's like a feedback loop. And suddenly we're spending hours a day chasing those dopamine hits, scrolling endlessly through social media, watching short videos, playing games. It's all designed to keep us hooked.
And meanwhile, our ability to focus on anything that requires, sustained effort just goes out the window. It's like we've become addicted to distraction.
Yeah. And Rojas Estapé calls this the infinite loop of social media. And it's a pretty apt description, honestly. You get sucked in, you start scrolling, and suddenly hours have gone by and you haven't actually accomplished anything you set out to do. Sound familiar?
Oh, totally. I'm pretty sure we've all been there. And it's not just productivity that suffers either, right? What about our relationships? If we're constantly checking our phones, we're not really present with the people around us.
Absolutely. It's like we're physically there, but mentally we're somewhere else. And that can lead to all sorts of problems, communication breakdowns, feelings of disconnection, even resentment.
So, okay, we're losing our ability to focus. We're addicted to dopamine hits. Our relationships are suffering. It's a pretty bleak picture. But what can we actually do about it? Does the book offer any solutions?
Absolutely. It's not all doom and gloom, thankfully. And one of the key things Rojas Estapé emphasizes is the importance of cultivating mindfulness as a way to counteract all this distraction.
Okay, mindfulness. I've heard that word thrown around a lot lately. What exactly does it mean in this context?
Essentially, it's about being fully present in the moment. Paying attention to your thoughts, your feelings, your surroundings without judgment. It's about noticing when your mind starts to wander and gently bringing it back to the present.
So instead of scrolling through my phone while I'm eating dinner, I should actually focus on the taste of the food and the conversation I'm having with the people around me.
Exactly. It sounds simple, but it can be surprisingly difficult to do consistently. Our minds are so used to jumping from one thing to the next that it takes practice to really be present. But the benefits are huge. It helps us reduce stress, improve our focus, and deepen our connections with others.
I can definitely see how that would be helpful. And speaking of connections, one thing that really struck me about the book was its emphasis on the importance of real, authentic human relationships. Not just the online kind.
Yeah, that's a crucial point. It's so easy to get caught up in the world of social media and online interactions, racking up likes and followers. But at the end of the day, those things can't replace the deep, meaningful connections we have with people in real life.
It's like we need that face-to-face contact, the physical touch, the shared experiences to truly thrive.
Exactly. And it's not just about feeling good either. Strong social connections are actually essential for our physical and mental health. They reduce stress, boost our immune systems, and even help us live longer.
So it's not just about like having fun with friends. It's literally good for us on a biological level.
Exactly. And the book really drives that point home. It's a reminder that we're social creatures at heart,
Yeah.
and we need those real-world connections to thrive.
Okay, so we've talked about mindfulness, the importance of real relationships, but I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier. This idea of dopamine and instant gratification. The book argues that all this instant gratification is actually making us less tolerant of discomfort. Oh, absolutely. It's like we've become so used to getting what we want when we want it that we've lost the ability to deal with even minor inconveniences, like waiting in line at the grocery store or having a conversation that's a little bit awkward.
Yeah, exactly. And this intolerance to discomfort can manifest in all sorts of ways, impatience, frustration, even anxiety and depression. It's like we've forgotten how to sit with uncomfortable feelings and allow them to pass. We just want to escape them immediately.
And that escape often comes in the form of, checking our phones, scrolling through social media, anything to give us that quick hit of dopamine.
Exactly. And it's a vicious cycle because the more we try to escape discomfort, the less tolerant of it we become.
So what's the antidote to all of this? How do we relearn to tolerate discomfort?
Well, Rojas Estapé suggests that we need to start by reframing our relationship with discomfort. Instead of seeing it as something to be avoided at all costs, we need to recognize that it's an inevitable part of life. And in fact, it can be a valuable opportunity for growth and learning.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this reframing idea.
Well, think about it this way. When we avoid discomfort, we also avoid the opportunity to develop resilience, to learn new coping skills, to become stronger. It's like we're staying in our comfort zones, but we're not really growing as individuals.
So, like, if I always avoid difficult conversations, I'm never going to learn how to communicate effectively or resolve conflict.
Exactly. And on the flip side, when we face our fears and discomfort head on, we build confidence and self-esteem. We learn that we're capable of handling more than we thought we could.
I like that. It's like embracing discomfort as a challenge rather than a threat.
Right. And the book offers some practical tips for doing this. Like, start small. Don't try to tackle your biggest fear all at once. Instead, identify small ways you can step outside your comfort zone on a daily basis.
So, like, maybe I try talking to a stranger or taking on a new project at work.
Exactly. And as you do this, you'll start to realize that discomfort isn't always a bad thing. In fact, it can be a sign that you're stretching yourself, that you're growing.
I love that perspective. It's like reframing discomfort as a sign of progress. And speaking of progress, one thing that really resonated with me in the book was its discussion of the importance of delayed gratification, like working towards long-term goals, even when it's hard.
Yeah, that's another crucial point. In a world of instant everything, it's easy to lose sight of the value of hard work and perseverance. But the book reminds us that some of the most rewarding things in life take time and effort.
Like learning a new language or building a business or mastering a new skill. Those things don't happen overnight.
Exactly. And they often involve a lot of discomfort and frustration along the way. But the satisfaction you feel when you finally achieve that goal is so much greater than any fleeting pleasure you get from instant gratification.
It's like the journey is just as important as the destination. And the struggles we face along the way actually make the reward that much sweeter.
Precisely. And it's not just about the end result either. The process of working towards a goal, of overcoming obstacles, of pushing yourself beyond your limits, all of that builds character and resilience. It makes you a stronger, more capable person.
So to wrap things up, what are some of the key takeaways from Recupera tu mente, reconquista tu vida? What do you hope listeners will take away from this deep dive?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that we have more control over our minds and our well-being than we often realize. It's not easy, of course. We're living in a world that's constantly bombarding us with distractions and temptations. But with awareness and effort, we can learn to reclaim our attention, manage our emotions, and build a life that's truly fulfilling.
And the book gives us some practical tools to do just that. Mindfulness, cultivating strong relationships, reframing our relationship with discomfort, embracing delayed gratification. These are all things that can help us navigate the challenges of modern life and find greater peace and happiness.
Absolutely. And it's not about becoming some kind of like Zen master who never experiences stress or negative emotions. It's about learning to manage those things in a healthy way so that they don't control our lives.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between, engaging with the world and taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think Recupera tu Mente provides a really insightful roadmap for doing just that.
And as a final thought for our listeners, I encourage you to consider this. What's one small thing you can do today to be a little more present, a little more mindful, a little more intentional with your time and energy? It could be as simple as putting your phone away during dinner or taking 5 minutes to just sit and breathe deeply. Whatever it is, make a conscious effort to reclaim your mind. Even if it's just for a few moments, you might be surprised at the difference it makes.
I love that. Small steps lead to big changes, right?
Exactly.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for listening, everyone. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.